Hello and welcome to this Holy Hearth. I am Gemma, and today I'm going to talk to you about your 4th and your 10th house in your natal chart. So the very bottom and the very top of what we're looking at when we look at your astrology chart. And we're going to talk about what this means about who you are as a mother and what this means for you as a person, as a soul journey through this lifetime. So the 4th house is all about your roots, about where you come from, about the home that you grew up in, about the home that you're creating for your children. And then your 10th house is right at the top of your chart. It's the most visible part of your chart. This is your legacy, your career. It's the way people see you. It's the way your children see you. And it's the way that they can then see their aspirations through you. It's the way that you role model life for your children. And so we're looking at that axis, the inside, the outside, the home and the legacy, and how the interplay of these pieces of your chart, what that's going to say about you, and what that means that you are creating for your children, what you are creating for yourself. And what your trajectory is, I guess, between those 2 points in your chart. I love looking at the angles in a natal chart. I feel like they tell us so much about what we're here to do, about what our journey through this lifetime is, and about how we are, they're kind of the points in your chart that really hold you. So we're probably looking more at the midheaven at the top of your chart, the 10th house, and the IC or the nadir at the bottom of your chart. And these are those are probably going to be the more exact things to look at than if you were using a whole sign chart, where your 10th house and your 4th house might be in slightly different positions to your IC at the bottom and your MC at the top. Whatever chart you're looking at, and whether you're looking at the 4th and the 10th house or the MC and the IC, it's still going to have something really useful for you, I think. I love that astrology is like that, it's in layers. And so if you are, if these things don't line up perfectly for you, then look at both, because you'll probably see pieces of yourself in both of the different ways of looking at things in 2 different axes of your chart. So the 4th house, this is your home and really linked to your roots and your ancestry. This is where your motherline is. This is where you're bringing those gifts from that motherline, from your ancestry, the gifts that they had and the gifts that they wanted you to have. So sometimes this is going to show up as a particular skill that a lot of your ancestors had before you. It can be those kinds of gifts that are now given to you for this lifetime, that are things that you get to express, and those might show up in the 4th house. So when we look at the specific themes of your zodiac sign, then there might be things that you're like, oh yeah, that totally feels like a gift from my ancestors. And so these often come through the 4th house, through those kinds of themes. And it might also give you clues about things that you are supposed to heal for your ancestral line, for your children, and for the future generations. And so, so have a little think about whether that might be you. And also, this stuff is going to be shown through any planets or placements that you have there as well. So do consider them. Maybe give them a Google if you're not super familiar with astrology, and see what they might mean. And obviously anything that is aspected is going to have more layers of meaning. But today we're just going to talk about the zodiac signs, and so those quite general themes that might come through. So the 10th house is directly opposite the 4th house, and so has in many ways quite opposite themes. When we're looking at your natal chart, we are looking at the day and the night of the moment that you were born. So So if you were born in the night, your sun's going to be in the bottom half of your chart, and if you're born in the day, it'll be in the top half. When we look at the things that are right at the top of our chart, these are like the bright and shiny. These are the things that are more visible. These are the things that are more external. And anything at the bottom of the chart is going to be a more internal piece of yourself. Anything that is like about your own personal development, something that's in your home, something that's like in your routines or in your like private things that you might do. And the stuff that's on the top half of the chart is something that is going to be more externally manifested. And so when we look at the 10th house, right in the middle, right at the very top of your chart, this is your legacy. This is often your career. This is the thing that you're going to devote your life to. This is the thing that you're building. And so in many ways, from the perspective of a mother, this is like the lighthouse of your chart. This is the thing that your children are going to see. It's the thing that they're going to remember about you. It's the way that you express your values and your beliefs and your purpose. This is going to be how your purpose shows up. This is going to be what your children see when they're looking at like, who was my mum and what were they doing with their life? A lot of that is going to show up in your 10th house. The zodiac works on these 6 different axes. Signs that are opposite each other, they often balance each other and have common themes between them. And there are a number of ways that they show up in your chart as a trajectory from one side to the other, or a balancing of the strengths and the shadows of each side, that you are trying to find the highest values of both and find that balance in the middle. These are really helpful ways to work with the chart. So we're going to look at each of these axes and then flip them over and look at the other side of them, because obviously each sign is going to look different, whether it's in the 4th house or the 10th house. And with your 4th and your 10th house, we're going to start in the 4th house, because really that's your childhood. That's where you're starting to understand your chart, really. So as we look at your 4th house, this is where you're developing your roots. And the stronger your roots are and the healthier your roots are, the higher you're going to be able to climb on that 10th house trajectory, the more you're going to be like based in those values of your childhood, of your 4th house, and the more you're going to be able to really express that part of yourself. So if you have Aries in your 4th house and Libra in your 10th house, you're going to have a home where independence and courage are really valued. And your legacy is going to be teaching balance, fairness, and partnership. If you have Taurus in your 4th house and Scorpio in your 10th house, then your home is grounded, sensual, and stable. It's a place of comfort. And your legacy is going to be about transformation, depth, and showing strength in vulnerability. If Gemini is your 4th house and Sagittarius is your 10th house, then your home is full of chatty ideas, and your legacy is expanding horizons and teaching and showing your children that the world is wide open and there to be explored. If Cancer is your 4th house and Capricorn is your 10th house, your home is going to be really nurturing and emotional and protective. And your legacy is going to be structure, responsibility, and showing what it means to build something that really lasts. If Leo is your 4th house and Aquarius is your 10th house, then you're going to have a home that is warm, playful, and full of creativity. And your legacy is going to be innovation, community, and standing up for the collective good. Virgo is your 4th house and Pisces is your 10th house, then your home is going to be really practical and orderly and health focused. And your legacy, your 10th house, is going to be all about compassion and spirituality and serving something bigger than yourself. If Libra is your 4th house and Aries is your 10th house, we're like doing other half of the zodiac now. So flipping that Aries Libra axis upside down with Libra as your 4th house, your home is going to be harmonious, aesthetically beautiful, balanced, and your legacy is going to be courage, leadership, and forging your own path. If your 4th house is Scorpio and your 10th house is Taurus, then your home is going to be intense and private and emotionally transformative, and your legacy is going to be stability, sensuality, and creating something enduring. If your 4th house is Sagittarius, then your home is going to be adventurous and open and philosophical, and your legacy is going to be communication, storytelling, and versatility. There's something really multifaceted about Gemini in the 10th house. And if your 4th house is Capricorn and your 10th house is Cancer, your home is going to be really structured and disciplined and probably very traditional values. And your legacy is going to be care and protection and creating belonging on a much larger scale, like a really protective environment. If your 4th house is Aquarius and your 10th house is Leo, then your home is going to be unconventional, future-minded, and freedom-giving. And your legacy is going to be creativity, visibility, and shining your unique light. If your 4th house is Pisces and your 10th house is Virgo, then your home is dreamy and spiritual and compassionate, and your legacy is going to be service and healing and creating something practical and helpful for the world. Each of these axes can play out in a bunch of different ways. If you had a very free and lots of autonomy as a child, that could feel like you were really neglected. And it can lead you to go the other way when you're looking at the life that you want to build. You're going to want to build lots of structure into that to make up for or really even build on the skills that you learned as a child, having to fend for yourself. That will be a lot of how your trajectory plays out. And we can look at those things in a bunch of different ways and give ourselves all kinds of different stories around them. I would encourage you to play around with those stories and think about what is the most empowering one that you can find. What is the most powerful story that you can create for yourself, and choose it. Just choose the best story that you've got for the life that you've had, the life that you're building. And that can give us a real sense of control and of autonomy, I guess, of being in control of our own lives. When we're looking at this 4th and 10th house axis, in there is going to be baked a lot of our childhood trauma, a lot of the things that forged us, a lot of the things that started us on whatever journey we are on. And so looking back, we get to rewrite those stories. And astrology can be a really powerful way to re-understand and to reimagine those things and those experiences that we've been through. Not to make less of them, not to bypass any healing that we might need to do, because I think that's really important to be able to sit with whatever the shadows are that could come up through this kind of exploration. But also, when we are choosing a life for ourselves, choosing one that gives us power and that gives us choices and ownership of our choices, is going to be the one that is going to help us to build the life that we want to build for ourselves, which is essentially what we're talking about here with the 10th house. We're talking about how we can use the roots, how we can use the place that we came from to build the place that we want to go. And so I would encourage you to have a look at your chart. You can create a chart using a site like astro.com or Cafe Astrology and look at what is at the bottom of your chart, what sign is right at the bottom of your chart, and what is right at the top, what is on that IC point, what's on that MC point, and have a think about how that is playing out for you in your life, in your motherhood journey, how that is showing up for your kids in their life, and how the home that you're creating relates to the home that you were created in, and how you are expressing all of these beautiful pieces of yourself. This is really useful work to do in understanding who you are as a mother and who you are as a person, and how you were shaped by your mother, and how you might be shaping your children by the way that you are living your life, the way that you are expressing your chart. If this video has been helpful to you in any way and you're interested in staying in touch, I have some free resources that I've linked below. I have a cosmic alignment guide, which helps you to understand the seasons of the year and of our life in terms of astrology, and how those might play out for you and how you can work with them. And also I have a 13 moons guide, which brings the new moons of the year to life through archetypes, through mother archetypes that we can work with. So please do feel free to download those for free and join my mailing list. I would love to have you there. And I also offer readings. If you are feeling a little bit lost in your chart, then do feel free to check out what readings I offer. I do like a whole day of astro coaching, which I call a flame tending, which is just this really beautiful way to dig into your chart over the course of a day, so you can have a little think about stuff that I've shared and ask me more questions as the day goes on. And if that really works for you, I have a longer term offering called the Cauldron, where we can do that over several months, over 3 or 6 months, and really do like a deep dive and evolve through, like, watch transits go through your chart and evolve through them, working consciously with the astrology as it's hitting your chart, which is a really magical experience. So feel free to jump into my community, check out my other videos, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video.